Nestled in the foothills of the Himalaya, Kashmir is a land of legendary beauty, of mountains that touch the clouds, of waterfalls and green valleys dotted with fruit orchards. The people of Kashmir and northern Pakistan are equally renowned for their rich culture and humbling hospitality. On the morning of 8th October 2005, the people of these remote valleys were following their daily routines when a massive earthquake struck. In just moments, over 73,000 people were killed, 600,000 houses damaged or destroyed, and 3.5 million people rendered homeless. Those who survived the earthquake were left in desperate conditions. Siddiq, a survivor of the earthquake, sitting in the rubble of his house, recalls that terrible morning.
We thought
the earthquake was the end of the world. So many lives were lost. It rained a lot that day, and because all the houses were destroyed, we had to live in the open. It was very cold.
Shah Begum's family was among those who lost their homes.
The houses were shaking during the earthquake. Then they started to collapse all around us. Everyone was running in all directions.
The task of reconstructing homes for 3.5 million people in remote mountainous terrain was daunting. As winter approached, many roads remained cut by landslides and most areas were still without electricity or running water. Relief efforts and local government were forced to operate from tented camps. The government of Pakistan created the Earthquake Reconstruction Rehabilitation Authority, ERA, and adopted a bold strategy for rural housing reconstruction. For the first time, after a disaster of this magnitude, people were put in charge of rebuilding their own homes. The success of this strategy lies in that it puts the people at the center of housing reconstruction. Rather than relying on an organization to rebuild their homes, people are given technical advice and financial assistance to rebuild their own homes. When people are provided with the means to rebuild their houses, they do it faster, better, and more to their own liking. Rebuilding their own homes empowers them, giving them a sense of pride and accomplishment, and helps them overcome the trauma of the disaster by focusing their efforts on rebuilding. The story of the post-earthquake rural reconstruction can be told through the experiences of Siddiq, Shah Begum, and their families. The task of rebuilding was overwhelming, and people were unaware of the government's plans to assist them. An information campaign was launched to inform people about the procedure for housing reconstruction.
We did not have any way of getting accurate information. There was a lot of confusion. One way we received information on reconstruction policy was through a radio program called Chacha Chairman.
मेरा भी कम है लोगों को है मालूमात देना कि मकान किस तरह बनाने थे उन्हां दा नक्शा किस तरह होसी ते ਅਸੀਂ किस तरह लोगों को ट्रेनिंग दे सके मकान किस तरह ज़लज़ले से महफूज बन सकते हैं उसके लिए हमने कुछ चीज़ें भी बनाई हैं कुछ पोस्टर बनाए हैं जिनके ऊपर हमने तस्वीरें बना दी हैं उन लोगों की आसानी के लिए जो पढ़ लिख नहीं सकते वो तस्वीर देख के उस प्रोसेस को समझते उस अमल को समझते हैं ये पोस्टर आपके सामने ये पहला भी तक क्या एक सारी चाची पर पांडे टंगे उता दूसरा कि देसा.
In order to access financial assistance, hundreds of thousands of people had to be registered for identity cards and to open bank accounts.
We were told that we would get financial assistance and that to receive this money, we would need to open a bank account. So my husband made the journey to Abbaspur town to open an account so that we could get the money to build our home.
Opening the account was very difficult for me because I had never done anything like this before. I had to wait in a long line for many hours. The bank was crowded with people. The bank staff helped me to fill the forms to open the account.
मैं आपको ये फिगर बताना चाहता हूँ कि हमारे 65 में जब ये बैंक खुला.
In the last 40 years, from 1965 to 2005, we had 22,000 accounts. After the earthquake compensation process, we opened 28,000 more accounts in 6 months.
Government assessment teams visited each of the over 10,000 villages in the affected area to determine the level of damage incurred by each individual house. The owners of damaged or destroyed houses then had the option of signing an agreement with the government by which they undertook to rebuild using earthquake-resistant techniques in exchange for receiving financial assistance from the government.
The assessment team came after the earthquake. They checked our house to assess the level of damage. Then I signed the papers with the government to receive the financial assistance.
In a typical year, only a few thousand homes in the affected area would be constructed. There simply weren't enough artisans available in the disaster area to reconstruct 600,000 houses and still plant and harvest crops, tend livestock, and all the other things required for normal subsistence living. There was an urgent need to train carpenters and masons and other artisans in safe and earthquake-resistant construction techniques.
We are here today to tell you what you can do to make your house earthquake resistant. Many of these techniques are simple and do not add much cost to your home.
There was a shortage of artisans for reconstruction. As artisans like myself were trained, we were able to train others in safer construction techniques, and the pace of reconstruction increased. The house must be well connected to the foundation to resist an earthquake. Fix the bolts in the foundation with cement and then attach it to the frame of the house.
Timber salvaged from destroyed houses can be recut into sizes suitable for earthquake-resistant dhaji structures, traditional to some high-altitude areas of Kashmir. Relief and development organizations are partnered with the government for reconstruction efforts. These partner organizations employ trained field teams that provide door-to-door assistance to home builders. Due to the rapid pace of reconstruction, there was a massive demand for manufactured construction materials, such as cement blocks and steel reinforcement. These materials then had to be transported to remote, inaccessible villages at high cost to the homeowner. Sand, extracted from riverbanks, is used for cement mortar and in the manufacture of cement blocks at hundreds of roadside block factories. To regulate the widely varying quality of these small enterprises, ERA established mobile testing units.
We gradually motivated people, taught them how to make blocks, how long to cure them, and what the ratio of ingredients should be. When we started, the crushing pressure of the blocks was around 200 to 250 psi. Now the average is 1000 to 1200 psi.
The transport of heavy materials such as concrete blocks and gravel created significant financial hurdles for reconstruction in high-altitude, inaccessible mountain villages.
We transported material using jeeps and trolleys. Then we had to carry everything by hand, from the road up the mountain to our village. When my children got out of school each day, they also helped. Even I carried some of the material. It was hard work. We could only carry one block at a time.
Masons and steel fixers were given training in earthquake-resistant construction techniques, such as the inclusion of horizontal concrete bands at sill and lintel levels, placing vertical steel reinforcement at corners and on either side of windows and doors, and the proper ratios and curing times for cement. Village reconstruction committees were formed at village level across the disaster area. These communities strengthen community solidarity and provide support for housing construction to the most vulnerable.
In the next meeting, we will discuss ways to support widows in our community to reconstruct their houses.
Village reconstruction committees also facilitate reconstruction through such activities as group procurement of construction supplies and the transport of those materials, which reduces the cost of the purchase and transport of those materials. At various stages in the construction process, inspection teams visit the houses to determine if earthquake-resistant construction guidelines are being followed. Successful inspections result in the release of the next installment of financial assistance. After the final inspection, the house is certified as complete. Through the government of Pakistan's rural reconstruction strategy, artisans like Sadiq have been given the training they need to rebuild their own homes and those of others. Sadiq has not only built a safer home for himself and 5 other families, but has also improved his skills and so increased his job opportunities and made himself more valuable to his community. And the knowledge that he and artisans like him have acquired has become part of a new culture of safer construction that will benefit the people of this region for years to come. Shah Begum and her husband now also have a new and safer house. The community gathers to celebrate its completion.
I have rebuilt my home. I am thankful to the government for providing us financial assistance. Without this money, we could not have rebuilt our house.
Two years after this devastating earthquake, a broken land is returning to normal. Crops are sown and harvested. Roads and shops are open. And the sounds of hammers and saws ring across these mountain valleys. Over 150,000 houses have been rebuilt and another 200,000 are under construction. The government has distributed to the affected people more than $1 billion for housing reconstruction. And the people of northern Pakistan have been provided with the skills they need to rebuild safer homes and their once shattered lives.